That's it.
I mean, Katie is supposed to be here. She didn't say she wasn't, but we'll see. Okay, so changes to the agenda? No? Okay. Then I guess according to our new attorney, we can vote on approval of the minutes for the last three that we didn't approve, since we have a majority of the five. So can I get a motion to approve? Well, I'll move to approve. Should we do them one at a time, or?
It's up to you if you want to just mention the May 1st,
Right.
the September 4th, and the October 2nd.
Okay.
I can put you down.
All right, then I'll move that we approve all three sets of minutes.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. It's unanimous.
Thank you. Oof. So
I
we
don't-
have three ayes.
I don't know who you are, can you tell me?
Oh, yes, my apologies. Kimberly Campbell with the law firm of Brown Hutchinson. We're the new town attorneys.
Oh, great. Yeah.
You know, I didn't ask about public input. Do we have any public input that we know of? Can I ask? No, okay. Just to observe? Okay.
Yeah, she may be interested in joining us.
Oh, that's great.
So
Definitely.
what's your background that would make you qualified?
Interest?
Well,
There
in
you
law-
go.
Well, that,
I think-
here,
You're probably more qualified than the rest of us then.
yeah, where'd you get that?
Canisius.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
But I have a doctorate in business.
Pardon?
I have a doctorate in business now, so.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I got a degree in environmental science, and I've been a contractor most of my life, so, yeah.
I have a degree in environmental engineering, but I retired from DEC, oh, brother, 14 years ago. So, anyway, all right, so we approved the minutes, so no correspondence, Michelle?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, it says the Conservation Board meeting schedule will be before the town board at the 11/19 meeting for their approval.
Correct. I got that all set up for the next
Okay.
year.
So it's still just the first Wednesday of every month, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, we wanted to pivot on July, right?
July.
Oh, it's July?
A week in the first.
Correct. I moved it back a week
Okay.
because of July, bear with me. It falls the day before the July 4th holiday, and we always end up canceling it.
Okay, so it'll be the second Wednesday then.
Gonna move it forward, not back, right?
I moved it to July 10th.
Right,
Yeah.
okay,
It was July 3rd,
right, yeah, that's.
which is the night before the July 4th, which I believe the events are going on here at Town Hall. And I finally learned.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's why we're approving the May, September, and October meeting, because we had no meeting in June or July.
Yes. So, schedules, let me just double check that and make sure I had it right on the 2025.
Spelled my name wrong.
Why do I have July 9? It should be July 10, right?
Well, you said 10.
9 is the Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So July 9th, I guess.
Oh, duh. I'm looking at 2024.
Okay.
Could have sworn I checked all. Yeah, July 9th is the Wednesday, so it's July 9th instead of
Okay.
July 10th. Sorry, my bad.
Not a problem,
Well, we know it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
right? And we would have had plenty of time to correct our calendars. So.
And
Okay.
then, actually, before we move on, hang on about that, to add to the, so terms, I believe, are expiring,
I think at the end of next year, right?
is it next year or this year? It's this, oh, next year, you're right.
Yeah.
It was a 2-year term, correct, 2025. Gotcha. Okay, never mind.
It's okay. And for no particular reason, I guess I was officially approved at the last town board meeting, so.
Correct,
So I
as
guess I
chair.
can actually say, I'm running the meeting tonight.
Correct.
Okay, so recruitment, you said you have an interview tomorrow.
We have an interview tomorrow at 1 PM with Gary Adams.
You guys remember that?
I don't, I can't picture
I
him
can't
at all.
picture him either, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he was on the board 18, 19.
18 and 19, he served on the board.
The other question that came up
That long ago.
is,
Well,
in his resume, he says that he is also on the Town of Arundecoy Audit Committee member. That's not a conflict of interest, would it be?
I wouldn't think so, but we should check the town code on that, just to make sure that there is nothing in the code that says you can't serve on 2 boards at the same time.
Right, right.
Okay, yeah, I can make a note,
Can you
check
make
that
a
in the
note and
morning.
check that?
Yeah,
Maybe before 1 o'clock?
yep.
Since we don't have any money to spend or can't, there's no
Sure,
conflict
there's
there.
not much to audit.
It's a free,
And he did serve as the Conservation Board. He was on the Audit Committee from 2017 to present is what his resume says right now. And he did serve on the Conservation Board 2018 and 2019. So that was double as
oh,
well
okay.
back then, so.
Okay, so yeah, I would think someone would have checked it back then, but yeah, I'll check the code in the morning just to be sure, and
Awesome.
I'll send you an email before the interview.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you very much.
And Michelle, didn't you say that you had someone else that,
I
during
d-
the last meeting, I thought there was someone else that was interested.
I did, and she has not responded. And I reached out again.
Oh, yeah, because in the last minutes from last month, it said have about 4 candidates waiting to hear back. So I guess we heard back from 1 out of 4.
Right, I believe her name was Sky. And then the other ones were the ones that you sent me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never heard anything more from them. Maybe I'll see them on next Thursday, because they were members of the recycling or one was a member of the the county's recycling advisory committee, and one said she had relatives in Arundecoy.
So this was Sky Hansen, and I haven't heard back. I did reach back out to her beginning of October.
are we advertising on our Facebook page?
Facebook page, and I just sent it to IT to get it on the town's website as well.
I mentioned it on the town Arundecoy page. And I got some interest from, you sure we didn't talk on it? No?
Okay.
Okay.
And Noelle said she was putting in her response to me that she wasn't coming. She said she was putting it on social media. So I don't know if that's more than just the Facebook page. If she was wasn't there something else she was going to be opening up possibly?
Okay. Morgan replied, my apologies. She said both emails went to her junk mailbox. She appreciates me following up with the information so I can review. Right now, my schedule, I would not be able to commit with the monthly meeting on a regular basis due to prior engagement that also occurs monthly at this time. However, if anything changes, I will reach out. And
And at that town board meeting where I was appointed, there was a large audience, so I said, and we're still looking for more members. but nobody said anything.
So that's where we're at right now.
So. Okay.
Two,
Ugh.
one, maybe two.
Yeah, so it wasn't that long ago that we actually had 9. I mean, when I
Yeah.
joined, I think we were at full, I was the 9th person, I think.
Over the years, it seems like it goes in stages.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because there was a while, we had the zoning board, we were shy a couple members, I remember that. Couldn't get it.
Okay. And so if someone is interested, they should contact you directly.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So if you need an email or something, you can,
I think I saw it on the website.
okay.
For the Facebook group.
All
Look at
right.
it on yourself.
Not all night.
Okay, unfinished
Great.
business. Tree Town USA.
Probably nothing I haven't said in the last meeting, but I submitted our applications for Tree City USA recognition and a growth award, waiting on state and federal review. Once we brought with that being approved. We're wrapping up our planting for the year. I think we got about 30 trees left with 160 that we ordered, which will put us at about just over 330 for the year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, been a good year.
You got places for all of the rest of them?
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
Beautiful.
And that will pretty much clean the slate on all the requests for trees. But we'll have a good 4 months to fill the list before the spring.
Okay. Farmers market updates. I guess at the last meeting, we talked about that we tried to think about ideas for a winter market. I don't know if anybody came up with any. I forgot about it, to be honest with you.
I did too. I apologize.
Oh, for the,
For the
do we
winter
get much
farmers
attendance at the winter market?
I haven't been over to the new location yet.
I think tomorrow's the first day, isn't it? The year?
Oh, maybe right. I think you're right.
So it's going to be every
Where did you
Thursday
live?
again?
In the garage?
Yeah, the long building along Kings Highway there.
Tomorrow, let's check the website here. Thought I got an email, but
Have we done a recycling one in a while, Dan?
We did one during, the county came out during the summer and did
Yeah.
one. Can't remember when that was, July, August. So, I mean, I could ask if they wanted to do it again, but I don't know. I mean, I'll be going to the Recycling Advisory Committee meeting next Thursday.
Maybe be worthwhile, see what kind of attendance they're getting at the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Going. The summer market, there's plenty of people that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can interact with, but if it's slim,
right. Do they, I didn't go to that particular one. Do they educate people about what they can recycle, what they can't recycle?
Yes, I mean, that was the most common question, is people stopping to say, gee, can I recycle this, can I recycle that? And they usually have a couple boards that talk about
Yeah.
all the things that can and can't be recycled. And then they also talk about the facility out near the airport, the Eco Park,
Right,
that there's a lot of other things that can go there. So I
Sure.
mean, the answers are, these things can go in your recycling bin, and then these other things, they can't go in the recycling bin, but you can bring them out to the Eco Park.
right.
So,
and there's some
Yeah, like
things
paint
you're
and
just letting
TVs
dump.
and, pardon?
Some stuff you're just supposed to dump.
yep,
Yeah,
Yeah, some things just can't be
It's too
recycled.
bad that there's no market there, because the rules are complex, what you can save and not save. And interestingly, the last time I was at a recycling thing, the lady saying that they didn't want any of those plastic cups.
Right.
And Wegmans specifically says, by their little container, these are recyclable. So.
Well, I
but
suppose
they-
theoretically, everything's recyclable, but,
Yeah,
but they're
at what cost?
not in most county, not, they're not recyclable in Monroe County and probably nowhere else I can think of really, unless some company specifically decides that they want to recycle something.
We heard that you can take clean aluminum foil and if you ball it into,
Yes.
what's the size it has to be, like a softball or baseball or?
No, I mean, you don't even have to ball it, I don't think. I think you could just put it in sheets if you want, but yeah, as long as it's clean, they'll take aluminum foil.
Yeah.
And I think, pizza boxes, it was always, if it were greasy, you can't put those parts in. Now they said,
Take the top, not the
Yeah.
bottom?
yeah, but now they said as long as it's not, as long
Yeah,
as there's no food in it,
we
you
recycle.
can recycle it.
Oh,
anyway,
even
the
if
whole
it's
thing.
greasy?
Yes.
Just greasy?
Yes.
Oh, that's good to know.
So they keep changing things all the time. And the county does have a recycling website. So, I mean, if people ask you, gee, what can I do with this, or can I do this?
You can refer.
Send them to the Monroe County recycling website.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, I know I'm not a board member, but
It's okay.
I believe that we should do something about e-pods at one of these at farmer's market for education. We
Yeah.
we've had complaints this week regarding a house down on Schnackle that has been backhoeing into the steep slope
Oh, yeah.
and then dumping it into the bay.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, so code enforcement went out and put a stop work order on this specific address, and DEC has also been contacted. So if we could do maybe some kind of a flyer, get a flyer out, and do you know what an e-pod is? I mean, if you need me to come, I can come to the event, I can bring the current code. I know that we're trying to rewrite it, but at least educate people, that you're in an e-pod, an environmentally protected overlay district, and certain permits are required before you decide to start doing this work. Maybe something like that, if we could set up something on a table, maybe I can come over, we can
Yeah.
draft something just to get it out. Get the word out. We need to get it.
Sure.
It's still on our tax bill that you're in an E-Pod.
It is, and there's a lot of the properties from what my experience has been is that, like there's some properties that were in an e-pod when the development was created. But because the development was created, it's not an e-pod anymore.
No. Or they,
So it's not really like a steep slope or a treed lot. There's one particular, I got a Freedom of Information request, and I believe it's one of the King's, one of these streets up here. And it says E-Pod on their tax bill, which they are nowhere near
anything.
an E-Pod. So I'm finding that a lot of, I don't know how to even go about it, where a lot of the tax bills on Monroe County, if you look up the address, it says Environmental Protection Overlay District, but they're addresses that are nowhere near
Yeah.
one of the E-Pods. So
I think we talked about that before. that
there's
it was
gotta
all
be
done
some
on
way we can,
Old aerial, it was done on old aerial photography and old
Yeah.
county
That was
maps
why
and things.
Krista was recommending that the town do the LiDAR to upgrade the steep slopes. And I thought she said that the town was gonna do that.
I don't know anything about that LiDAR.
I think we were waiting to rewrite the code first.
Oh, is that right?
Okay.
To figure out if we were gonna do a buffer zone or some feet setback from the grade change, something like that.
The code now reads that there is a transition zone. But
There's just so much
invoked
different.
that for Birchcrest Drive when they made that deal with the developer to keep some land and let him build 2 houses back there.
All the way at the end.
Yeah, just before the cross street. That was a big fight.
Okay, I mean, you know, we talk about rewriting the E-Pods. I mean, how, what would initiate that? I mean, is that something you guys do? Is that something?
The treed lot.
Yeah. Just we take an initiative. Bunch of us to come together and come up with ideas. Rewrite it, have people looking at it, rewrite it again, and get it legally correct, and then present it to the board.
Okay. Well, maybe between now and December, we should try to take a look at it, and if we have any ideas on it, we should talk about it next meeting, maybe.
So here it is. It was a foil for Kings Lane. Kings Lane is over here, isn't it?
Over there.
Behind us. In front of us, I should say. Looking for, so the county website shows that the property is a property regulated under environmental protection zone. And when I pulled it up on the GIS, I couldn't find
Hard to imagine what that would be.
So it's under county.
on the county, if you go on the county website and type in an address, it pops up regulated.
There may be a little creek in the backyard or something.
The only thing I can think of is that it was,
They should put little initials as to which one of the requirements is, like W for woodlot, SS for steep slope, so that when you looked at it, you would know what,
Yeah.
you can't have W for woodlot, WL, and then wetland or whatever. But if there was a code, then people could realize what the reason was for it being an EPOD.
Now when it,
Is that if it backs up to Christ the King, St. Terry, one portion of that property was wooded.
so when it says the county website, does that just mean that that's the maps that the town used to establish the E-Pods?
That's a
I mean,
good
the
question.
county's not involved in establishing the E-Pod, are they?
I'm not quite sure how that worked back in the day.
Yeah, whose maps?
It's just the county map, and that's what they're referring to, but it's the town's E-Pod.
Yeah, and the designation of something as an EPOD is a town zoning matter, is my
Right.
understanding. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, except for
Yeah.
floodplains and things like that. I mean, floodplains are federal.
Right. Well, I mean, there might be more than one jurisdiction, but I mean, I think it would still be a town E-Pod, but then it might also be a regulated activity under state or federal regulations as well.
yeah.
But
Well, Scott did all the work for the woodlot. And then the question about a transition zone, the rest of the stuff is pretty much cut and dried. Well, it's a steep slope and it's defined now in 2 sections, less than 15 or 15 and above, and then up to 30, something like that. So the guts of it are there already. Just
Yeah.
So
well,
this,
it'd just be a matter of how to identify it within the town, I guess. I mean, if these maps are outdated,
I don't know.
that's the main issue.
So on our GIS viewer, it does show new NYC DEC stream quality ratings. So it shows a stream to the west.
Where exactly is this road?
So here's the property here that they're, and then this is showing this, I think it should be New York State DEC stream or New York City. NYC is like New York City, right?
Yeah, New York City.
Probably not that.
It's a tributary
So I
to
can
the-
talk, I can email Chris
Yeah.
and ask Chris
Between,
what this means. So this is the property in question on the corner of Kings Highway and Kings Lane. And on the county website, it says legal description, property regulated under environmental protection zone.
I mean, it could be that there's some kind of restrictive covenant written into the deed, which, you can pull from the county clerk's website. So that could be how it got on the county's website.
Could be. I could look
Is
that
that
up.
going up toward Titus? Kings?
it's 2 streets south of Titus, right here. In between Goodman and Porter.
Oh, yeah?
So this stream,
I don't think there's any tributary over there.
Right here.
I thought maybe it was that creek that crosses up,
No.
Steve,
yeah.
Far west.
it's this one right here.
Backs up right here to the church.
Yep. Wow, that's hot. So here's Kings Lane, and this is the stream that it's saying NYC DEC stream quality
Yeah, it's just one of these little small,
class B.
Cool.
Right here.
yeah. So, make it so you can see bigger, so see more, not where the stream originates, or if it empties into that stream. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
like
can you
like
go-
Scott said, from behind the church, it looks like. it
Okay, now
goes-
where's it go from there? Connects down to,
It goes all the way to the lake.
oh yeah, so it's a tributary to one of the little small streams that goes through
Into
Duran
the-
Park.
Was
That's
the adjacent house got a
that's why.
spot on it?
So
Those
this,
streams have,
So you're saying it had to.
Aaron will tell you, those
Through this
streams have those little brook trout in them
say that
that
again?
are,
It heads north through this property?
It's not even near the property. Where am I? Kings Lane.
oh, which one's the property?
This is the property in question.
Yeah, they're,
Kings Lane is this 177 is the property in question,
yeah.
and then the stream is over here.
And then it keeps going north all the way to the.
It goes all the way to the lake.
You think originally maybe that those adjacent properties were all one property?
Yeah, there could be some kind of easement written into the deed, or that
Yeah.
was put on the record.
Yeah, well, they're,
So it goes to Cranbrook.
Yep.
This picks up Cranbrook Creek
Yep.
and then goes right by Mike Nolan's house.
boy, there's a lot more little
Oh,
creeks
way.
there than you realize.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Almost to Sweet Fern there.
It goes all the way
All the way north, okay.
out.
Geez, so
So-
why would
Well,
citizens
is
be
there really a
confused
creek
about
there?
this?
So
Unless it's-
Probably intermittent at that far away from the
Or
lake.
is it buried?
because our EPOD maps were so old,
Yeah.
think of my theory, and you could tell me if I'm totally wrong, is that when this development was created, it was in an EPOD because of the stream.
It could very well be piped.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Look how straight that is.
But that goes, literally right under the church.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't seem like it happened. Like, that's under the gymnasium
Yeah.
right there.
Like, is that still there? I mean, you know what I mean? That's why I think
Yeah.
we need
Yeah.
to
So we'd have to somehow figure
remap
out.
our
Yeah, that's what I was
somehow,
gonna say,
I don't know how
somehow
to do
remap
that,
I'll
but
talk to Chris tomorrow about it.
remap our EPODs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm thinking my theory might not be that bad
Yeah.
because of when it was, so like back in Woodland Circle was completely a whole wooded lot.
Yeah.
And when that subdivision came in, I remember this specifically because when that, there was an additional house that was built in the Woodland Circle area back there. And he did not have to, they did not send him for an EPOD permit to the planning board because it was already an approved EPOD when the subdivision came through.
So it sounds like maybe the issue is not so much the definition of the EPODs as the mapping of the EPODs.
The mapping.
Yeah,
That's a big task.
I mean, the definition of the EPOD may be straightforward if you just read it, but then if you
Right.
try to locate it,
So if we could,
that's the issue.
even if we get it out there just to educate, I do too.
If your theory is correct, you could understand how the woodlot designation could go away, but the steep slope doesn't. You
Right.
still got a steep slope no matter what. So the guy digging in there,
Yeah, and Snackle.
And that slope is steep.
that's slid off at a couple different places over the years.
Yeah, and then to dump it into the,
Into the bay.
Yeah, well, he just wanted
Okay, sorry.
to make sure he got caught.
I got a little
Somebody who rented
off
a
track.
backhoe on his own, I'm assuming, no contractor.
Okay, so Facebook updates, I have no idea.
I don't either.
one of these meetings, we gotta get Noel here.
Yeah,
They put into the code that tree people have to be on the town's list. Do other contractors have to be? Excavator guys, do they have to be on the approved list?
Oh, tree guys do though, right?
So, Facebook has 933 for likes and 966 for followers.
That means there's 33 people following us who don't like us.
right. Well, I guess that's not a bad percentage. Okay, the speaker film series. Last time I think I mentioned that I was going to try to talk to somebody at DEC about getting somebody to make a presentation about the new wetlands regulations. And I tried contacting the regional director, and somehow I must have the wrong email or something. I'll try more. Because, like I said, Tim Walsh is the regional director at DEC. He lives in Arundecoit, actually. And
Oh, yeah?
when I saw him at a air and waste management meeting a month and a half or so ago, he said he volunteered that somebody from the DEC could come and make a presentation. So I don't know if we want the presentation to us, or we want it to, a wider audience, how we want to do
Oh,
it.
yeah, the room at the library probably, that would be,
Yeah, or we did them here in the past, I don't know.
yeah, could be here.
So I'll reach out to him again and try to have some information on that before the next meeting, and maybe we can actually schedule something after that. I don't know if anybody else has got any ideas on speaker series, but that seems like it could be an important one for the town. Could change, tying right back into EPODs again, and
Right.
even if that, whatever, it could make a big difference in what's regulated and what's not. Yeah, I know in the Buffalo News, I think I might have mentioned this before, there was actually an article that was focused on, the wetlands. The new regulations are being so inclusive that they're actually including some lakes. So people in Chautauqua Lake were upset because they normally, treat the lake for weeds and things like that, and if it's named a wetland instead of a lake, they wouldn't be able to do some of that treatment.
Right,
So,
yeah.
So, regulations could have a lot of impact and maybe unintended impacts. And something else I saw in the paper, I don't know if anybody remembers when the forester from DEC came out and did that presentation over at the library on reviving chestnut trees.
Yeah, that was
Apparently,
cool.
there's actually some people in Olean that are working to do that. So I sent this article to him, and he thought it was pretty interesting. So if anybody else is interested in that, I can get a copy.
You get the Buffalo News?
Almost every day.
Okay.
Well, it seems to be a lot better. I'm from the Buffalo area originally,
Oh, okay.
but the main reason is because it's such a much better paper than the DNC.
How can they say that?
Although they've taken a bit of a hit lately. They've been cutting back on things a bit too, so. Anyway. Okay, I asked last time about the Deer Management Board because, I mean, that was Krista's thing, and I guess.
Now yours.
Now it's apparently mine, but I know nothing about it. So is there anything I should know about that?
I have not heard anything
Okay,
thus far about anything. The only time that the Deer Management Program Board meets is if there's a complaint
okay,
or such.
okay. So then if there is, what does that
Well,
trigger?
there's a certain process that they have to follow through the town code, through the police department. And if it doesn't get solved that way, then they can appeal to the Deer Management Program Board.
Okay,
And then that's when it comes to me and I set up the public hearing, because it's gotta be public hearing has to be held, notice has to be, published, and go from there.
okay. So who else is a member besides me?
So Cody, let me pull it up here because I got that. Cody Dismang, he is the supervisor's designee. And the town around and then one town resident is Gwendolyn Mendez Meehan. So the Deer Management Program Board is comprised of the town supervisor or his or her designee, a town resident who cannot be a hunter in the program, and who shall be selected by the town board from a pool of applications submitted by interested residents, and the chairperson of the town conservation board or his or her designee. The town resident and designee, if any, shall serve without compensation for terms of 1 year.
So you said Gwendolyn? Well, might as well see what it's about before I try. So Gwendolyn
Did you guys
Meehan.
find that deer you were looking for?
Mendez,
No, but there was a report of one up on North Entrance that had, in fact, I got sent a picture.
so what you'd want to do is
It had a
just to
non-fatal
get versed on
arrow in
that
it.
section of code. I believe
Upper
it's,
back, muscle hit. So,
I believe it's chapter
I went
98
looking around for
town
it
code.
today.
No,
it's been like, since what, last Friday?
93. Chapter 93 of town code is the bow hunt program, and it basically goes through and tells you step by step what'll happen.
Okay. Okay,
Okay?
let's see. EMC report
Oh, and the farmer's market does start next week, or this week, tomorrow,
tomorrow.
11/7.
Okay.
11 to 7?
11, no, tomorrow, November
Oh, the
7th.
date is 11/7.
I think it's 4
4
to-
o'clock, yeah.
4 o'clock it starts.
I gotta leave in a couple minutes, because I'm gonna do some more by 8.
Okay,
Okay.
So you wanna do liaison with?
You're late, it's 8:45.
sure.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, the liaison report.
Yeah.
I don't have anything work-wise to report, everything's been pretty standard. We had a little wind last week and a couple things come down Friday, but, I'm kicking around the idea of next spring starting a tree nursery. I think it'd be a good way to get kids involved and residents involved to actually plant the trees, corn and seeds and stuff. And then eventually, it's gonna take a couple years before we have anything viable to give away, but we can kinda
City had a tree farm in there for a long time.
It's still there.
But
It's
they're
mature trees
hard to,
all in a
hard to
row.
transplant.
Yeah, so I think that's a good way.
Well, I think that's a good idea, especially the planting and nurturing.
Yeah, whether we bring seeds and pots and stuff to the farmer's market, and hey, kids want to plant a tree and something like that, or whether we reach out to the school districts and actually have classes do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah,
idea.
those are great, those are all great ideas.
And then the final result can either be planting them as street trees, but that'll take 5 or 7 years
Yeah.
before we got trees to put in the ground that big, but, or we could just give them away to residents. Hey, this is why trees are important, and you want to plant them over there.
Yep.
A friend of mine got 15 acres out by Hilton, and he and his kids gathered up acorns, black walnuts, and hazelnuts, and they planted them. And they got about 50 to 70% germination among the different species. And
Wow, that's pretty.
after germination, they protected them so the deer wouldn't eat them out in that 15. And we were out there last weekend, and they're about this tall now, and they're only 2.5 years old. That's not instant response, but it's fast enough that
Yeah.
the kids wouldn't outgrow it completely. I think that's a great idea.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, especially since there's very few trees, there's very few trees, new trees being grown. I mean, there's all these mature trees in town, but on my property, I tried to get in that survey where they wanted you to map out a certain, I forget the name of it, that program. And we're supposed to count the seedlings, tree seedlings, and count certain indicator species. And the only thing, there were no tree seedlings on my property, 1.25 acres. And all I had, the other indicator species I had was some jack-in-the-pulpits.
Oh,
So I didn't even join the program because I had nothing to count. I mean, and I hike all the time in Arundecoy. A lot near me in Huntington Hills, and I don't see any tree seedlings because as soon as they get up, the deer are gonna. There's so many deer, they're just gonna chow them down. It's like,
No understory at all, really. It's just
Yeah.
mature trees and nothing underneath it.
yeah, and it's as long as
that butterfly garden over by the ball fields there, we put 4 seed saplings from tulip tree in the corners of it. They're getting too big. We shouldn't have put them there.
oh yeah.
Oh, up the back of the way?
Yeah.
Yep.
Scott, that pond nearest to Eastman, there's that thing floating out in there. You know what that is? In the
Yes.
pond?
I'm pretty sure that that's a float for the irrigation system for the golf course.
Oh,
Because I think that shed that's right next to the pond is the
Yeah.
outhouse. And they irrigate the golf course with that pond.
it's sinking.
Is it?
Yikes.
That's something we should have.
You thought it was Jimmy Hoffa, huh?
I'm pretty sure, don't take my
Well, that
word
would
for
make
it,
sense.
but that's my guess.
So that's the county's responsibility then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because elevation-wise, it would be good.
Okay, EMC report. Who's doing EMC
Noel.
these days? Noel? Okay, I guess we don't have a report on that. The Recycling Advisory Committee, that's me. And the last month, they did we did a site visit to Sun King out in Brockport.
Oh yeah.
They recycle and reuse and rebuild an amazing assortment of things, everything from electronic equipment to shelving to toys to, they have a huge facility
They used to
out
come
there.
here to the town and you could drop things off to them. Kimmy Romeo used to work for them.
Yeah, they work with us with the electronic waste
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I thought, yeah,
Five this summer.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Wrap
it
them all
was,
up and they take them away in pallets. And
Yep.
then whatever they do with them, you sell.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they extract
they
all
have all
kinds of,
kinds of people out there rebuilding computers, rebuilding screens, rebuilding all kinds of electronics. They've got televisions all over the place that have been rebuilt. I mean, it's a pretty amazing
So it's not just
place.
melting it down and recycling.
No, that would be like a really last resort. I mean, they try to resell everything, basically. Buys it or, fix it up and resell it, So the next meeting there is next Thursday, so then I think that's just a regular meeting, so. We'll see what happens there.
Next week, Thursday or tomorrow?
Next Thursday. It's always the second Thursday.
Sorry, I gotta run.
Okay.
all right,
All
Scott.
right,
Thanks
thanks,
for
Scott.
coming.
I mean, I think we're pretty much done anyway. I mean,
All right.
other
I'll reach
than-
out to you sooner than later.
Somebody take that candy. Have a good night.
Okay.
You too.
Okay, so the one question I have is Planning and Zoning Board Representative.
I'm on, I think, right? For November.
Oh, I didn't bring that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, is who's, because I thought I had a list of all that for who was,
The only item that is on the agenda for the November meeting right now is the old Abbott's at Culver and East Ridge Road. They're proposing to demolish that building and create a drive-through Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
so that's nothing we're involved in, well then.
So we can just skip that one?
I agree,
Okay.
if you want to.
I'll
God bless
miss you,
you.
of course.
I know you'll miss me. You can watch me on TV.
Okay, so I think that's it, unless anybody else has got anything else.
I move we adjourn.
Well, I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
I had mentioned I thought I knew somebody who might be interested on the board. I talked to him, and he's teaching a course on Wednesday nights at Fisher, so that wouldn't work.
Do you have any questions?
I don't think so. I mean, what's the process to be a member?
Just email me a resume and a letter of interest, and then I'll share it with Scott and Aaron. Yeah,
Yeah.
do you have my email?
I thought I saw it on the town page.
Could be.
Like, it says who can reach out to,
Okay, yeah,
but
I thought it was out there.
Well, I'm sorry this wasn't as interesting when the first